Very good. Now I challenge you to add another second to each inhale and then another 2 seconds to each exhale. So our exhale is going to be slightly longer than our inhale. That means if you inhale for 4 seconds with the light becoming big and bright, it means you exhale for 5 seconds as the light dims. Inhale and exhale. Now keep your eyes shut here and begin to feel into your spine a little bit. So you can rock back and forth. You can rock side to side. You can lightly arch your back and lightly cave your back. Just feel free to move intuitively. See if you can match that movement with your breath. Just whatever feels good, whatever it is your body is calling for. And you can make these movements as exaggerated as you wish. Or maybe you're feeling a little bit more subtle. This light is still continuing to illuminate itself from deep inside of you. And then to dim itself slightly as well with each exhale. You can imagine this light moving as you move your body. You can even begin to incorporate your arms in these movements, maybe shaking your hands out. Maybe you wish to raise your arms up above your head. Whatever is calling to you. Now feel free to open your eyes, and we're all going to come into Vajrasana. Vajrasana is Thunderbolt pose. It's where we sit on our feet and our knees are bent in front of us like this. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to slip a pillow underneath you. That can give you a little bit of height. It can help relieve pressure in your spine if your quads are a little bit too tight for this position. And we're going to move through a movement called Swan Kriya. Swan Kriya is an undulation of the spine. And if you want to watch me do one round first, how we do Swan Kriya is we inhale and we arch our heart towards the sky. We look up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we lower our body towards the ground and then cave the back of our spine towards the wall behind us. Inhale, look up towards the sky, arch your back. Exhale, round the spine. So if you want to move through that at your own breath, and when I say at your own breath, I mean the length of all of our breath is going to be different naturally. What's important with this posture, this Kriya as it's called in yoga, which is a movable asana or posture, is that we do it in accordance with our own breath. So that means with each exhale, we cave the back, we round the spine. With each inhale, we arch the spine. So move through Swan Kriya a couple times. Feel free to add an Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. An Ujjayi breath is a warming breath, and it makes this snoring type of sound as we inhale and exhale. You constrict the muscles in the throat. And I'll exaggerate here. I'm not quite sure if you can hear over the microphone, but you inhale, exhale. If it's not part of your practice, it's totally okay. Just continue to move with each inhale and exhale. We'll go ahead and find stillness. Roll your shoulders back. And we'll do this movement in reverse now. So that means we'll start with an exhale and we'll cave the front of our body, push your spine towards the back of the wall, lower your forehead towards the ground, and then inhale, arch your upper back, look up towards the ceiling. Very good. Once more, find stillness in Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose. This time we'll begin to move our arms. So inhale, lift your arms up overhead. If it's comfortable, your neck gaze up towards your hands. Exhale, move your arms slowly back towards the ground. Move them almost as if you're moving through molasses here. Inhale, repeat this motion, look up towards your hands if that's comfortable. Exhale, lower your hands and arms back towards the ground. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Left arm stays on the ground. You can either put your whole entire palm on the ground here or make a little cage with your fingers. Lift up, up, up as high as you can with your right hand, and then slowly lean over your left side. Find length in the right side body. Breathe into the right lung. And if it's comfortable, you can look up towards your hand. Ensure that your shoulders are squared towards the front of the room. You can do this by ever so slightly pushing your left shoulder forward and your right shoulder back. Use the strength of your hips and the strength of your abs to push your right hip ever so slightly towards your mat so that we can get length through the entire right side body here. Inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your right arm back to the mat. Again, you can place your palm on the mat or you can make little cages with your fingertips. Inhale, exhale, lean over the right side body, extend through the left side body. Look up towards your hand if that's comfortable. Square your shoulders towards the front of the room ever so slightly by pressing your right shoulder forward and your left shoulder back. Use the strength of your lower body to press your left hip ever so slightly towards the mat. On your next inhale, lift your right arm up to meet the right arm at the top of your head overhead. Exhale, lower your hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind your back like so, and press through your heart. Arch your upper back, press your hands towards the mat, look up towards the sky. Bring your awareness to your heart space, and imagine as though this space is becoming larger and larger and larger. Like your heart is so big you can barely even contain it anymore. Exhale, release. Inhale, we'll do this one more time. Push your hands towards your mat, arch your upper back towards the ceiling. Look up if that's comfortable on your neck. Press your shoulders down. Inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, go ahead and release your hands to either side. And let's shake our hands out a bit. Very good. Find stillness. And then we'll all come to lay down on our mat. Go ahead and press your right cheek into your mat slightly. And close your eyes and take a moment here to breathe deeply and notice what that deep breath does to your body as it's laying here on the mat. Notice how much your breath changes the position that you're laying in. Observe the rise and fall of the body. And keep this in mind as we go through these next series of postures. All right, so go ahead and place your hands right next to your shoulders. Look up towards the wall in front of you, a couple inches up towards the wall in front of you. Inhale, exhale, peel your chest up off the mat. Look up towards the ceiling if that's comfortable, and press into your hands with about 10% of your strength. So you're mainly using the strength of your back to put you into this arching position here. Inhale, exhale, lower your body back towards the mat. This time, put your left cheek into the mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale once more, peel your chest up off the mat. This time, put 20% of your body's weight into your hands. Ensure that your fingers are spread wide here and feel as though you're pushing your chest forward with your hands. You can do this ever so slightly. But again, most of our strength is coming from our back. Exhale, lower your right cheek towards the mat. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, peel the chest up off the mat. This time, put 50% of your weight into your hands. Ensure that your fingers are spread. Feel as though you are pulling your chest forward with the strength of your hands, with the friction between your palms and the mat. Look up. Breathe into this heart space here. And once more, pay attention to the rise and fall of the chest, how your breath alters the position and how it brings you even deeper into the posture. Very good. Exhale, lower your left cheek towards the mat. And then bend at the knees, windshield wiper your legs from side to side. When we practice back bends, it's really important that we pay attention to our lumbar spine, to the bottom of our spine. We never want to feel any pinching here. If you ever feel as though your lower spine is becoming pinched when you're in a back bend, it's really important to press your pelvis towards the ground and try to bring that back bend into your heart space. This windshield wiper motion that we're doing with our feet is a really good way to alleviate any pressure that we might have found in our lower back. Very good. Now we're going to come up to all fours. Place your hands right underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, arch your back, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch your back, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine. And we'll do as we did before when we were in that meditation. Go ahead and move your body intuitively here. So that means as you inhale, if you want to reach a little bit farther forward, that's totally okay. As you exhale, if you want to lean further back, that's okay. If you want to move from side to side, go ahead and do that. And close your eyes while you're doing this so that you can really feel into what it is your body is needing right now. The most important thing during all of this is that you pay attention to your breath. Your breath is what will allow you to relax more in postures, so you'll get the benefit more out of the posture. It's also what links us to this present moment. Yoga without breath is ultimately just stretching. Very good. Find stillness here. Look forward, but keep your spine in neutral. Tuck your lower tummy in. Activate the abdominal muscles here. This is going to be really important. We want to find strength in each yoga posture, and it's really easy for us to kind of forget about our stomach area. So go ahead and relax the stomach muscles. And then once more, activate them and notice how that changes the alignment of your spine. When you relax your muscles, you cave a little bit more into the lower back. But as you activate your muscles, it pulls you more into this neutral position. With that, we're going to move into our first downward dog of the day. Ensure that your fingers are spread wide on the mat. Your knees are right underneath your hips. Tuck your toes. Inhale. Exhale. Use the strength of your abs to pull you into this downward dog. You can bend the knees here. Straighten the spine. Press through every knuckle of every finger. Press into the palm. In the downward dog, we get our strength from the ground. So also press through your feet, even as you're walking your feet out. You can bend one leg, straighten the other leg. And then find stillness here. Keep your back as flat as possible. Once more, if you need to bend your knees, that's totally okay. What's important is that we create space in the spine here. See if you can lift your sacrum about an inch closer to the ceiling. Use the strength of your abs to achieve this. You can press even more into your fingers. Very good. Look forward towards your hands and then walk your feet towards your hands at the front of your mat. You can keep your knees as bent as you like. And we'll come into a forward fold at the top of our mat. Go ahead and place your elbows in the opposite palms and then allow your upper body to hang heavy here. Have your knees at least slightly bent. And bring your awareness while you're in this position into your feet. Feel as though there are 4 corners of your feet, 2 in the back of your heel, and 1 in each ball of your foot. Press equally into all 4 corners here. And as your head is dangling towards the mat, go ahead and roll your shoulders back. So gravity can have your entire upper body, but don't allow it to have your shoulders. We want to create space in the shoulders. We want to create space between the shoulders and the ears. Once more, you can go ahead and rock your body side to side. If you feel as though that might help release anything, go ahead and move your body a bit intuitively. You can also go back and forth a bit. Suck your lower tummy in. This will help provide a little bit of structure for our spine so that we don't put too much pressure on it in this position. This is especially important if you're somebody who has back pain. Whenever you're in a forward fold, it's really important that you keep your abdominal muscles activated. Very good. Go ahead and place your hands on your hips. Inhale, look forward ever so slightly, and then hinge from the hips as you move yourself into a standing position. Very good. Inhale. Exhale, roll your shoulders back. Put your palms next to your hips and your palms facing forward towards the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale. Tadasana. It's also known as palm tree pose. This is one of the most important postures in a yoga class. And we'll begin to flow here a bit. But before we do, I want us to check in one more time. So go ahead and close your eyes, fall into your Tadasana. And we'll do a quick body scan here. So bring your awareness into your feet. Remember those 4 corners in each foot. Imagine as though you're pressing into all 4 corners of each foot with the same amount of pressure. You can practice by lifting your toes up here. See how that changes your position. See if you can press into all 4 corners evenly. For an added challenge, try to lower just your big toes towards the mat. If they don't get there, you can do so with your imagination. Then we'll go up from here. Scan your shins, scan your knees, scan your thighs. Ensure that your inner thighs are activated. Imagine as though you're holding a block in between your legs. Scan your glutes. Make sure your glutes are slightly active. Scan your abs. Activate your abdominal muscles slightly. See how that changes your posture. Scan up through the belly. up to the heart space. As we get to the shoulders, roll your shoulders up and back, create a little bit of space within the heart here, create a little bit of space between the shoulders and the ears. Scan up through the neck, and then the crown of the head. Imagine as though somebody has a string attached to the crown of your head and that they're lifting your body up towards the ceiling. At the same time, somebody has a string attached to your hips and that person is lowering your hips down towards the ground. This creates space in the spine here. And now we will begin to slowly flow. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. You can look at your hands if that's comfortable on your neck. Exhale, hinge from the hips, move into a forward fold. So tuck your tummy here. You can place your hands on your thighs or on your shins if that's comfortable. Inhale, flatten your back and look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, go ahead and walk your feet back to a plank position. If this is too much for you, feel free to lower your knees onto the ground and we'll move through a chaturanga. So a chaturanga, if you haven't done yoga before, you lower your body halfway. And then with an inhale, you press your heart forward and move through upward facing dog. You can also do this from an all fours position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in your downward facing dog here. As we flow, if you ever need a break, you can skip chaturanga, or you can also come to a child's pose, which is when you place your knees out towards the edges of your mat and you rest your bottom on your feet. Whatever is comfortable for you. With your next inhale, walk your feet between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back. Once more, you can press against your thighs or your shins. Avoid pressing on your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips, straighten your back, and come up to a standing position. Hinge from the hips. At the top of your inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, back to Tadasana. We'll do a round of breath here before moving through that again. That is a sun salutation or Surya Namaskar. Inhale. Lift your arms up overhead. Look at your hands if that's comfortable. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from the hips here. Activate your abdominal muscles to protect your lower back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, move through your chaturanga. So you can walk or hop your feet back to a push-up position. Or you can do this on all fours, lowering your body halfway. And then with your inhale, press your chest forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press through your hands. Lift your sacrum up towards the ceiling. Try to create space here. Very good. Look towards your hands. Walk, jump, or float your way towards the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Hinge from the hips. Lift your body up to a standing position. At the top of your inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. We'll move through that one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Activate your abdominal muscles. Forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, walk, jump, or step your way to a plank position. Move through your chaturanga. If you want to skip chaturanga, you can meet us in downward facing dog or take child's pose. Very good. Press through the heels here. This helps bring the stretch into our calves. Spin your right heel towards the right side of your mat. And then lift your right foot up to a three-legged dog. Square your hips. And then bend your right knee. Open your right hip towards the right side of your mat. Breathe deeply here. allow that right foot to just hang. Very good. On your next exhale, come back into downward dog. And then we'll take child's pose for a moment. So go ahead and spread your knees towards the outside of your mat and bring your bottom to rest on your heels. Place your forehead on the mat. Extend your arms in front of you. Feel the heat that you created as we moved through a couple rounds of Surya Namaskar. Very good. We'll move back into downward dog. So once more, you can place your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips is a good reference point for where you want your feet to be and your hands to be in your downward dog. And press into your hands. Use your abdominal muscles to help pull your lower body towards the ceiling. We'll spin our left heel out towards the outside of our mat this time, and then lift our left foot up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open that left hip towards the left side of the mat. Breathe here, allow that left foot to hang heavy. Don't forget to press through your fingers. This helps relieve any pressure from our wrists. Very good. And then move back into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your feet here a little bit here. Bend and straighten each leg. Very good. And then walk, jump, or step your way into forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Hinge from the hips. Lift your body up into a standing position. And at the top of your inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your hands to your hips again. Bring your weight into your left foot and go ahead and hug your right knee up towards your chest. Press your chest into your knee here. And we'll hold this balance for a second. If you fall out of it, that's perfectly okay. That's part of the practice. Then go ahead and release your hold on your right knee and then shoot your right foot back towards the edge of the mat, and we'll move into a standing crescent lunge. You can place your hands on your hips here. Ensure that your hips are squared towards the front of the room. Push your left hip back and your right hip forward. Activate your glute muscles. Press through the right heel as though you're trying to get that right heel to reach the back of the room. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Standing crescent lunge. We'll hold this position for a couple of seconds, a couple of breaths. See if you can move a little bit deeper into this position with each breath. If you've reached your maximum, that's totally okay too. Just be with the stretch. You can look up towards your hands if that's comfortable. Very good. On your next exhale, lower your hands to your hips. In one step, see if you can bring your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. This time, put your weight in your right foot. Lift your left knee up towards your chest. You can hug that left knee towards your chest as you press your knee towards your chest and your chest towards your knee. We're creating space in the thoracic spine here and slightly opening that left hip. Once more, if you fall out of the posture, it's totally okay. We always have the freedom to move back into it. And one side is always going to be more difficult than the other side when it comes to any balancing posture. It also goes the same for flexibility. We typically have one side that's a lot more open than our other side. And that's totally okay. And balance is a part of life. But yoga is a practice that helps us create more balance at times. Go ahead and release your grip here. Bring your hands to your hips and then shoot your left foot towards the back of your mat. We'll do standing crescent lunge on the other side. So go ahead and ensure that your hips are squared towards the front of the room. Push your left hip forward, your right hip back, and press your left heel towards the back of the room. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Press through that back heel. If you feel any pressure in your lower spine here, press your pelvis just a little bit farther forward. And this helps bring the stretch a little bit deeper into your hips, and it helps alleviate any pressure that you might have in your lumbar. Breathe here, look up towards your hands if that's comfortable. Very good. Breathe deep into the heart space. Your next exhale, bring your hands to your hips. In one step, see if you can bring your left foot to meet your right foot at the top of your mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bring the weight into your left foot. And again, shoot your right foot back towards the back of your mat. This time, rotate that right foot so that the back edge of the right foot is parallel with the back end of your mat. Bend your front knee, warrior two. Bring your hands to shoulder level, roll the shoulders back. Give yourself a minute here to look down towards your left toes. Make sure that your left knee is not tracking inward and that you can see your left big toe peeking out there. Use the strength of your glutes to help open your hips here. And then press your pelvis forward ever so slightly. Look over your left fingers towards the front of the room. Warrior two. Inhale. Rotate your hands so that your palms are facing the ceiling. And then on your exhale, lower your right hand towards your right thigh. Inhale, lift your left arm up overhead. Slide your right hand down your thigh, however much is comfortable, and breathe into that left lung, that left side body as we find extension here. Exalted warrior. Exhale, move back into warrior two. Hands come to shoulder level. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bring your left elbow to your left thigh and your right arm up overhead. Breathe into the right side body here. See if you can find space in that right hip. You can do this by extending to the side body even more, or maybe using your glute muscles to roll your right thigh towards the back of the room. Very good. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, hands come to hips. Bring your right foot to meet your left foot at the front of the mat. Tadasana. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bring your weight into your right foot and shoot your left foot back towards the back of the mat. Rotate your back foot so that the knife edge of the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Roll your shoulders back, bring your hands to shoulder level. Look down at your right toe. Ensure that you can see it poking out there, saying hello. Make sure that your right knee is not tracking inward. And press your pelvis forward ever so slightly. Once more, use the strength of your glutes to open your hips here. Breathe deeply. On your next exhale, lower your left hand towards your left thigh. Then on your inhale, raise your right arm up overhead, slide the left hand down your leg, and breathe into the right side body as we find extension here. Breathe deeply. Ensure that the strength is still coming from the ground and from your legs. We want to find strength as well as mobility and flexibility in every posture. On your next exhale, warrior two, inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, right elbow comes to right thigh. Lift your left arm up overhead and breathe into the left side body. You can look up towards your hand if that's comfortable. If not, you can look forward, or you can even look down towards your right foot. See if there's anywhere that you can bring a little bit of extra space into this posture. See if you can bring extra space into the left side body, to the left hip. Very good. Move back into warrior two on your next inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and cartwheel your hands to either side of your foot and move through another chaturanga. If you wish, you can meet us in downward facing dog. Press into the mat here. Press through every knuckle. Use the strength of your abdominal muscles to lift your sacrum up towards the ceiling. Very good. Close your eyes for a second here and observe your downward dog. Observe any differences that might have been made as we've worked on greasing up our joints a little bit, loosening up our muscles. Very good. On your next exhale, walk, jump, or float your way towards the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands come to hips. Hinge from the hips. Lift your body up to a standing position. Arms overhead at the top of your inhale. Exhale, Tadasana. Bring your weight into your left foot. And then once more, we'll lift our right knee up towards the chest. You can grab your right knee, press it closer into your chest. And then we'll place our left foot on the inside, or our right foot on the inside of our left thigh. If that's too high, you can put the right foot on the inside of the left calf, or you can even place it on the ground and just have your heel resting against your left leg. Just make sure that you do not place your foot on your knee. That's really bad for your knee. Bring your hands to your heart. Tree pose. Now we're challenging our ability to balance here. It can be really helpful to have what's called a drishti, or a focused gaze. Usually it's on the ground about 6 feet in front of you. I don't have that much space here, so mine is on the wall. But once you get comfortable here, if you want to challenge yourself, you can do what's called growing your tree, and you can lift your arms up overhead. If you fall out of the posture once more, it's totally okay. And you can move your arms in any way that feels organic as you grow your tree. Maybe side to side, like you're waving in the wind. Maybe you want to rest your hands behind your head. Whatever way feels organic. Very good. We'll go ahead and with control, lower your right foot back towards the ground. And then shake out that left foot a bit. Good. All right. We'll lift our left knee up towards our chest this time. Breathe here for a second. And then place that left foot on the right inner thigh. Again, if the inner thigh is too high, you can place it on your calf, or you can even have the foot on the ground with just your heel resting against your right foot. Just ensure that you do not place your left foot on your knee. And then once more, feel free to challenge yourself by growing your tree if that's what's comfortable. You can also just hang out here with your hands on your heart, gazing forward. The hardest thing that I find to do is to close your eyes in tree pose. And move in whatever way feels organic. Very good. Find stillness, bring your hands to your heart, and then with control, lower your left foot back to your mat. Shake out your right foot. Very good. Relieve any tension that might be there. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your balance into your right foot. Lift your left foot ever so slightly, and then kick your left foot towards the back of your mat. Rotate your toes so that they are facing the long end of your mat, and we'll do a wide-legged forward fold here. So bring your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders back, open your heart up towards the ceiling, look up towards the sky, and then with your exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep your back as straight for as long as possible, wide-legged forward fold. And then you can bring your hands to grab your big toes here, curling your pointer finger and your middle finger around your big toe. Or you can leave your hands on your hips here. But once more, as we pull ourselves deeper into this forward fold, as we relax our upper body and allow gravity to take our upper body, it's important that we do not allow gravity to have our shoulders. So roll your shoulders back here, create space between the shoulders and the ears. You can use the strength of your hands to pull you deeper into this posture if that's what's comfortable. If not, hang out at whatever degree of the posture feels best for you. The best thing about yoga is that we can perfectly cater it to each and every one of our bodies. Very good. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, flatten your back, and hinge from the hips back up to a standing position. Go ahead and heel toe your feet till they're underneath your hips. Exhale. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers overhead like so, with your pointer fingers facing up. And then exhale, bend your knees. See how low you can bring yourself. Maybe you can bring yourself all the way down until you can sit on the ground. If not, find out what the extent of that posture is for you, and then come into a seated position in whatever way is comfortable. If you're not able to come into a seated position right off the bat, just through that squat, it's totally okay. It takes a decent amount of opening your hips and thighs first, but that's a really good indicator if you're starting a yoga practice to show how you're improving as you work through a regular yoga practice. Go ahead and bring your feet in front of you here to kiss, and use your hands to open up your feet like a book. And then you can use your thumbs to press into your feet. Give yourself a little foot massage here. Our feet spend all day carrying us, and we seldomly give them the attention they deserve. So give them a second to show some gratitude for carrying you through all the trials and tribulations of life. Loosen any muscles here. If a muscle's really tight in our foot, it's going to pull the rest of our body down with it. So I invite all of you to spend a second every day to just rub your feet out a little bit. It really does work wonders for the rest of your body. Go ahead and interlace your fingers now and cup your feet in your fingers. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, press your chest forward, and then on your exhale, pull yourself deeper into this posture. So pull, 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 pull. Keep your heart forward. Bend at the elbows to lower your chest towards the ground. And then if it's comfortable for you, if you want to move a little bit deeper into the posture, you can place your palms on the ground in front of you and walk them towards the front of the room. Try to keep your heart open here. Try not to cave the spine. Try to keep the spine flat or as flat as possible. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your inner thighs here. And then allow gravity to just take your upper body. Allow your whole upper body to relax like jello. Allow your neck to hang. And maintain awareness on your inner thighs. This is an excellent posture for anybody to come to if they're going through a moment of heightened anxiety or if their stress levels start to increase. Your hip flexors are your fight or flight muscles. So giving them a moment to move a bit, giving them a moment to stretch, giving them a moment of just paying attention to them and observing them. Those are all things that can really help us be able to calm down the parasympathetic nervous system when it starts to get a little bit out of whack. I'm a really big fan of affirmations. When I'm going through moments of heightened anxiety or heightened stress, I like to move into my hips a bit. And then I like to tell myself, I am safe, I am okay, I am here. And it really helps me out a lot. So I invite each and every one of you to practice this posture with those affirmations or any other affirmations that come up organically to you to help you ease those moments. We'll walk our hands back towards our feet and we'll lift our body back into a seated position. This time, go ahead and straighten your left knee and bring your left foot into the crook of your left elbow. And then go ahead and just rock your left foot or your right foot back and forth. Open the hip, close the hip. Go side to side, front to back. You can press your heart forward if that's comfortable for you. And just work into that right hip. Very good. Go ahead and extend the right foot towards the left foot, and we'll do the same on the other side. Give yourself a moment to scoop the flesh out from underneath the right hip, left hip, and then place the left foot in the crook of the right arm. And once more, and rock that knee, rock that hip, side to side, back to front. Very good. Go ahead and place the left back on the ground and extend it towards the right foot. Once more, use your hands to scoop out the flesh from underneath you so that your sit bones make contact with the earth. And then we'll move through Dandasana before laying on our back. Dandasana, or staff posture, is one of the most important postures in yoga. And I'm doing it right now. So you just roll your shoulders back, try to straighten your spine as much as you can. And then also try to press as much of the back side of your legs into the ground as you can while keeping your feet flexed. For added support here, you can make little cages with your fingers again and bring them to either side of your hips. You can press into them ever so slightly to pull you up into this position again. This position is really great for strengthening the abdominal muscles and creating space in the thoracic spine. It's especially important if you sit a lot during the day at a desk, like how I have been doing lately. So creates a lot of space here. This used to be my least favorite posture in all of yoga. Very good. Go ahead and relax. And then lay down on your mat on your back. We'll go ahead and we'll windshield wiper our knees from side to side. You place your arms out to your sides. You can have goalpost arms, so your elbows will be at a 90-degree angle, or you can straighten your arms out shoulder level, whatever is comfortable for you. Let your knees fall to the left side and let them stay there this time. Press your right shoulder towards your mat and breathe into that right side. You can bring your left hand to your knees. See if you can press yourself a little bit further into this gentle stretch. Very good. On your next inhale, bring your knees back up towards the sky. And then on your next exhale, lower your knees towards the right side of your mat. This time, press your left shoulder towards your mat, and you can use your right hand to press on your knees ever so slightly to give yourself a little bit of assistance here. You can look over the left shoulder if that's comfortable. Very good. Breathe deeply. Bring your knees back up to center and hug your knees in towards your chest. If it's comfortable, you can peel your head up off the mat and in towards your knees. Hug yourself as small as you can make yourself. And then on your exhale, go ahead and release. We'll move into Shavasana now, or corpse pose. Extend your legs. Let your toes hang out towards the outside of your mat. And then go ahead and roll your shoulders back and bring your hands to rest on either side of your hips. Close your eyes. They say Shavasana is the most important posture in a yoga class. And it's almost always practiced at the end. It's where we allow ourselves to integrate all of the beautiful things that we have experienced during our class, during our practice of asana, which means postures and breath. It also gives our spine a little bit to just relax and be supported by the earth. It gives us a second to calm the mind, although it doesn't always obey. A second to just relax. If you have a hard time with your mind here, if it does begin to race, you can do a body scan. So I'll walk us through a quick body scan again. Bring your awareness to the tips of your toes. Soften the tips of your toes. Allow gravity to pull the tips of your toes towards the ground. Bring your awareness to your ankles. Feel gravity pull your ankles towards the ground. Soften through the calves. Soften through the knees. Soften through the thighs. And bring your awareness to your hips. Breathe into each hip individually. Breathe into your left hip. Allow every muscle in your hip to turn into jello and feel as though it is just melting towards the ground. Do the same with your right hip. Imagine that it too is turning into jello and that it is just melting towards the ground. Bring the awareness to your pelvis. Imagine it growing roots, growing deep into the earth. Bring the awareness to your stomach. Your stomach does the same. Bring the awareness into your fingertips. Allow your fingertips to curl up naturally. Allow the palms of your hands to just melt as the back of your hands also melt into the ground. Your awareness up through your forearms. They melt towards the ground. Your elbows. Soften through the biceps. Soften through the shoulders. Allow space to be created in your chest and in your heart as all of the muscles relax fully. Soften through the neck. Remove any tension from your jaw. Soften all of the muscles around your eyes. Allow your forehead to smoothen out. And feel as your whole entire head melts into the ground. Give yourself a moment to breathe here. With your eyes still closed, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You wake up again for the second time today. With your eyes closed, roll over to your left side into the fetal position. You can place your right palm on the ground in front of your heart. And then you can press to the right palm and bring yourself up to a seated position. Keep your eyes closed here if possible. Use your hands to scoop the flesh out from underneath you so that your sit bones can make contact with the ground. Then bring your hands to your heart. Feel the exchange of heat between your thumbs and your chest. And then we'll revisit the beginning of class here. So with each inhale, imagine as though there's a light inside of your heart that becomes illuminated and then dims ever so slightly with the exhale. This time, though, imagine this light getting brighter and brighter and bigger with each inhale. First illuminating all of the cells in our body, then illuminating the space just outside of our body where our skin makes contact with the air, filling our magnetic field. Imagine yourself in an egg encapsulated with this light. It becomes brighter with the inhale and dims ever so slightly with the exhale. The next inhale, imagine as though this light fills the entire room you're in. And on the exhale, it dims so slightly. The next inhale, imagine that this light cannot even be contained in the room and that it expands out, outside of your house, outside of your apartment, your dorm, wherever you're watching this from. It extends out, wraps itself all around the earth. Go ahead and rub your hands together vigorously. Generate some heat in the palm of your hands. When you're ready, place your palms over your eyes. Feel the exchange of heat. Open your eyes from behind your palms and then lower your palms to your knees. I thank you today for joining me on Wednesday Night Yoga. If any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thank you again. Namaste.